This is the way I'm going to start every live from now on. Hello, potato. Are you about to abandon me? Because I showed you off? Who's my good boy? Hello, potato. That floor is filthy. I need to redo it. Everybody come in and say hello to my doggo. Quick, drop a couple bars. He's tired. He spent all day riding around in the truck. Getting the badussies. Anyways, hello. Probably want to do a wall tour. So if anybody asks, go to 1 minute into the live and you can see I rearranged some stuff because I had to make room for... Damn! But also, yeah, just kind of putting shit up on the wall. Yeah. So anybody that comes in, wants to know what's on the wall tonight, tell them to go to 1 minuto. And yeah, that is a Benelli. Hello, Cody. Thank you, Buckshot. Appreciate that. I still got a lot of room, but honestly, this camera, if I switch to a GoPro, I can get the whole corner in the video, but for the most part, I kind of just focus in on like that much of the room whenever we're talking, so... how am I? Well, kind of wanted to do a live stream tonight because obviously I won't be doing it Monday. I'll be driving up to my uncle's funeral. For those of you that wondered why there was no live on Friday, and I don't believe I went live on Wednesday either. Yeah, had a death in the family, so. Also, why is it fish-eyeing? Oh, I must have zoomed out too far. Hang on a second. I went past 1. What do we got here? Show live video. Yep, show live video. Okay, that was weird. All right, there we go. And now we're filming in 3 FPS. The potato is a potato. It's the potato, a potato. Look, kids, I don't claim to be smart. Yeah, for some reason when I'm putting you on the stand, what's up with that? I got them thick 5. Okay, this is an effect of YouTube. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. That's better. That was weird. You good, buddy? My dog has 2 dog beds in this room, and he's sitting on the floor. Also, the potato fell over. Where did the potato go? The potato is all the way back in the corner. The potato will never come back. All right, kids, get up in here. Let's talk about some stuff. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time in here tonight. I just wanted to reach out, touch base with you guys, see what you guys are doing. Also, I need to get some parts for the Benelli because it's so fucking plain right now the way it is. Hit the like when you come in, please. Also, did my chat freeze? Nope, we're just having a slow night. That's fine. Slow night. Everybody talk. We are not Suge Knight, we are Slow Night. Really? Where are people? I'm just going to sit here until we engage. Doggo. Come here, Doggo. How are you, Doggo? What's up, pal? How do you feel? I'm alright, Joe. Thank you for asking. A little depressed, but not much I can do about that. I'll be feeling better after next week. What's the plan for the Benelli? The Benelli was an accidental purchase. I do that a lot. The Benelli was basically half price because my buddy's pawn shop doesn't deal with them, and maybe he thought it was a supernova or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do with that. I might even just sell it. I've got the Mossberg 930 Tactical, so it's not like I need a semi-auto shotgun, but it is a Benelli, so it's like, ooh, feather in the cap. So it's fun to have it. Also, above my head, you'll see there's a particular firearm. One I had a while back, and I just got another one of. The Sig Fuse, the 365 Fuse. So those are a fun gun. They shoot well. They have a longer barrel, 3.7-inch barrel. I may try to find a threaded barrel for it and add a comp to it, or I may send it out and have it comp cut. So I traded off my HK VP9 that I had $400 into for it. Since I didn't shoot the VP9 at all, I figured I'd go with something that could be a carry gun. Because I may carry the thing. I haven't decided yet. If I decide to carry it, then I'll carry it. Friday night and nobody is here because people are eating and they're drinking their beer. Get off your ass and join my channel if you're not a punk ass bitch. Sorry, that wasn't a really good song, but off the cuff, it works. There you go, YouTube. You can make some money off me, you punk ass bitches. They're doing that thing again. We had talked about it before. They are removing my videos slowly by claiming I'm selling firearms in them. They're removing my older gun videos. Either they're doing it maliciously because they're a bunch of punk ass bitches, or they're doing it because their servers are out of space, or because they're punk ass bitches. So I think it's just a 100% trash move on the part of YouTube and Google that they're eliminating videos by claiming that shit, and then they refuse to actually give it a review when it comes time to appeal the decision. Really makes me feel shitty about it. Yeah, come on in. Tell me what's up. You had to plug in your device. No worries. Whitewood Galaxy says, hi. What's up, man? Get in here. Have fun. Ask questions. Involve yourself in my community. Let's get going. Because I've actually reached out to a few different companies for sponsorship, so we need to grow this. Shub, number one, you have to be US based. Number two, we can't actually legitimately talk about prices on YouTube. And number two, I'm not going to even take a guess at how much money you have. I can tell you that it would be for 95% of the population prohibitively expensive. I like your guns. Thank you, Whitewood. I appreciate that. If you have questions about firearms, we try to make sure to answer them here. If I don't know an answer, the community usually steps in. Sometimes you're going to get bad info, but that's the way the internet works. Bye. My dog's tired, so he just went to bed. How we doing? boy doing? How's the pup doing? Dog's fine. He's tired. He just went to bed, so we'll have to see how he's doing in a little bit. But as for me, I'm still planning my trip up to Connecticut on Tuesday. Technically Monday night, I got to go up there. You recently bought a 1911. Nice, sir. Very nice. Very awesome. What's the latest gun you picked up? Technically the Benelli M2 up top, underneath the 1022. Also, I missed the delivery today. John from Sharps. Thank you, by the way, to John. If you happen to check out these live streams, John sent me the heat seeker chassis for the 1022. And as soon as I get that, I'm going to install the gun in that. My only concern is that's the target. It may not actually fit in the chassis because of the thicker barrel. But if it doesn't, then I'll just trade that for a regular 1022. I am not committed to having a bull barrel. As an American citizen, I am not legally allowed to send a gun anywhere outside of the contiguous United States. That falls under trafficking. When you sell a gun to another country, unless you are an actual licensed exporter, then you have to talk to a gun dealer in your country and ask them what guns they can get brought into your country. My 1022 is the Archangel chassis with the heavy barrel. Okay. Laugh Station, what's up? Any new company sending you anything? No, not right now. Honestly, we did that, right? We tried that. So the Daria, I still got to produce their video because I'm a douche. XP sent me Fusion Firearms. I love their guns. Their videos did well. Rock Island, Sig, they've all sent me guns. TSOS and Gerson both sent me guns. I need to dedicate myself to being a YouTuber now. And I hate that because I said for the longest time I don't want to do it to make a living. But if I want to do it and get the newest shit, I have to do it to make a living. So, any Mosin Nagats? No. Mosins are not hard to acquire, and they are not actually something I care for. I'm not a long gun guy. I know that's odd to say when there's 3 long guns and 1 bullpup up there, but I am not actually a long gun enthusiast, fan, however you want to put it. I am the type of person who prefers a pistol. When I play most games, I usually run a pistol because for me, it's just funnier. Good evening. Hope the AC is running better for you. It is on, but they haven't fixed the HVAC, but they got me a new window unit. But it was off most of the day because it was nice out, and now that I'm sitting here with a running computer without a case and everything else, it's starting to get a little warm. Incognito, what's up? Do I enjoy any surplus? Pistol surpluses. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, the thing about not being a rifle guy, there's a lot of modern rifles I don't even like. I don't care for a base 1022. A base 1022 in a synthetic stock literally does nothing for me. But when you put it into a chassis system, so that bull barrel target originally was in a B team. It was the A team Samson side folder, but because it was a 1022, they called it the B team. And it was a fun gun, but it wasn't my style. I did it for my store, sold it to a buddy. He traded me the gun back, and I didn't want the stock, so I sold the stock. And then I reached out to John at Sharps Bros because I've done the Echelon and the RXM in his chassis, and it completely changes those guns. And those videos have actually done really well. The Sharps Brothers RXM's got 15,000 views. For me, that's a lot because most of my viewership is shorts-based or live-based. So to get one of my regular videos, get 15, 20,000 views is actually pretty good for me. I'm trying to grow all that shit, by the way, so make sure you do this. So he sent me out the Heat Seeker chassis for that gun. Have I ever shot the PX9? Yes, it's not on the wall right now, but yes, I have the PX9 Duty. That's one of the ones that SDS sent me for a release review. It did all right, and I haven't spoken to Jared in a while. I've texted him and emailed him, but I have not heard back from him. So I don't know if me continually to talk about that Night Stalker has caused an issue, or the fact that I never took the Night Stalker video down. I was adamant when I told him. I firmly believe in what I said, and I was actually right, so I will never take that video down. One of your guns has the worst recoil. Would you... I'm sorry, are you trying to say which one of my guns has the worst recoil? I don't really own guns with bad recoil. No, you cannot sell guns through Amazon. You can only sell guns through FFL approved places such as Gunbroker, Guns List, and obviously Bud, Sportsman's Warehouse, things like that. But you cannot sell through Amazon. You plan on building an AR-15 soon? Any suggestion brand new to ARs? Watch a lot of videos, decide what you want to do. If you're just trying to build something mil-spec, here's what I would suggest. I would suggest you actually buy a complete rifle and then upgrade it. If you just want to build your one and done, then you're going to have to do a lot of research. Bravo Company makes excellent parts as well as full guns. Daniel Defense makes good guns, and a lot of their parts are really nice. B5 Furniture is amazing. I love that stuff. It's one of those things. This may pop live, by the way. It's one of those things where it becomes very personal for your choices. Sorry, I meant to say which ones are your guns. Gotcha. Which gun is your favorite? All 1911s are my favorite platform, but my Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911 is my favorite 1911. Any good scores from online auctions? In my area, no. So the problem with online auctions, Rock Island auctions, for one, my STI Grandmaster may be going there, by the way. I fucked up. FV and I were talking about it. FV Ordnance, check them out if you haven't. We had an email chain going. This was right after my uncle died, and I misread his email, so I kind of got a little snarky with him. I kind of got mansplaining with him, and I shouldn't have. So I fucked up a deal with him. So now I'm finding a new buyer, which I have. It's a $5,000 gun, so it's not hard to find a buyer. But yeah, that may be going either Rock Island Auction, Gunbroker, or one of those other ones. But the freaking fees make them ridiculous. And local auction sites, like all local auction houses, people in this area are stupid. No offense, and I say it with the T because they don't deserve the D. They pay retail for these guns plus 15% plus a transfer fee. It's absolutely stupid. Desert Armory, what's up? Oh, you can't export guns entirely, but you can break the guns into every small piece possible. The only parts of firearms that are legal to mail are non-serialized parts. So you can't send a receiver, you can't send the fire control group, you can't send anything that is stamped and federally controlled. That being said, there are a lot of countries where it's just flat out illegal to send parts to. So, unfortunately, no. You literally have to find an importer in your country to bring in guns for you. You will not be able to find any American citizen, private American citizen, that will send you parts or pieces for guns. Unless your company or your country allows those parts to be sent through the mail, you will never get an American citizen to send you those parts unless they're felons. You always deal with Gunbroker. I do too. The last Grandmaster that's listed right now, the dude wants $5,000, buy it now, $4,300 to start. Rock Island Auction sold my exact gun with 2 mags for $5,000, so I may consider them, but their seller's fee is like 18%, so I think it's cheaper to sell it on Gunbroker and take a little bit less. Just scored a used 229. Should I get it cut for optic? If so, which optic? That's a totally personal choice. A 229 is a nice gun. If it's just a base model, go for it because there's nothing special about the gun. They're just cool. Desert, how you doing tonight too? What kind of dog do you have? A German Shepherd, American Staffordshire. What if I fly charter and take it with me? You still have to go through customs, and charter does not bypass the rules and laws for coming into or leaving the United States. Unless you have diplomatic immunity, you're going through customs. And when they find an undeclared firearm in your carry-on, doesn't matter if it's a charter or not, you're fucked. Can a Russian gun shop send an AK here? No. Russia is embargoed from sending us firearms at this moment. In a Eastern European country, they could potentially find an importer to send them through, but U.S. importers are not allowed to bring in Russian munitions at this time. Fel, we're okay. Oh, you have an Australian Shepherd and a Belgian Malinois. Ooh, Malinois are fun, man. They're super excitable. What do I think about the Nighthawk Sandhawk? I would love to get my hands on one. I would love to shoot one. I've never had the ability to shoot one because I don't know anybody that has one, and I don't have $8,000 laying around to buy one. Nighthawks are my dream 1911 manufacturer. I went with Para Ordnance because they are still relatively reasonable when you find them in pawn shops. Most pawn shops don't give a shit about the name on it unless it's a Colt or a Dan Wesson or something special, so they'll usually sell them reasonably. I bought my Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911 rail gun for like $700, even though they go for like $14, $15. So I've tuned in a few times. Appreciate the videos and information. What's the longest shot you've hit if you go long range? Unfortunately, I don't go to any range that exceeds 300 yards, so 300 yards is my max right now. Do you keep any sale on gun prices? Whitewood, you have a great night, dude. What do you mean by do I keep a sale? Is the Daniel H9 custom built? No, it's a factory built gun. There is nothing custom about that gun. It is a mass manufactured firearm, which is why they had keyholing problems immediately after they were made, because their micro rifling that they were trying, or the I can't remember which version they were using. Their rifling in their barrels was so bad that they were keyholing immediately. What do I do with all the guns? I usually shoot them. Obviously I can't afford to take them all out at once. If I could take all my guns out at once, I would love to do it, but I also would never come home. A couple hundred guns takes a long time to shoot. But I practice with them, I shoot with them, I shoot different ones. But the main thing is, after I've shot rounds through a lot of these guns, after this year, they're going to go into my safes and they're never going to come out. It's a weird thing to say, and a lot of people are like, why would you do that? Why do you keep them? Blah, blah, blah. The price I pay for firearms, not even as an FFL owner, and yes, Shub, I own my own gun store, but I have the time and the patience and the salesman sensibilities in my brain, because I sold for retail. I was in retail sales for 20 years. That I don't pay retail for anything. I always get a discount. But I also have a thing where I know how to ingratiate myself with store owners, pawn shops, gun shops, etc. So over the years, I've kind of built connections with gun stores. So all my guns, outside of a couple, I've paid maybe 50% of actual retail value for my guns. So being able to get guns at a discounted price does make them investments. You know, if I trade this gun for that gun, it doesn't bother me. What's funny, Fred Ted? Also, none of my people are on tonight. You know why? Because I didn't tell anybody I was going live. Yeah, I know the fucking peel was ejected, you bastards. Here's the best part. When I call them out on it, they'll be like, we're not doing that. Thank you for clarification, brother. Do I reload? No, I do not. I don't want to get addicted to it until I own land. Once I build a house on land where I can shoot as much as I want, I'll probably start reloading. But right now, I just buy new ammo. So you keep them for bartering later? No. What I meant by that entire tangent I went on was they can be considered investments, But I don't buy guns with the intent to get rid of them or sell them or trade them. I just happen to run into situations where, like my STI Grandmaster, I've told this story on live before. I didn't need to buy the Grandmaster. I bought it because I didn't like the asshole that looked at it after I did. The guy at the pawn shop after me was pretending like he knew what he was talking about, and that kind of fucker always pisses me off. So then he was like, "Can I take a picture of it?" That wasn't his accent, by the way. I'm just faking one so that you don't understand who he was. But he was like, "Yeah, can I take a picture of it?" And then he takes a picture of it. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna go home and do some research." And then he was like, "Oh," because I was like, "Can I see the box?" And the dude's like, "Yeah, they're in blue boxes." I'm like, "No, they're not. It's a black fucking $2 case." No, I know what they're in. So, yeah, so he pissed me off, so I bought the gun just to piss him off. And because I knew the owner of the pawn shop, he gave me like almost $800 off the price. So, preference on varmint cartridge. No preference. I don't varmint hunt. Sorry. Shorted a Mark 18 2 days ago. The gun shop keeps pulling my leg about building a custom one, so I just plan on switching out parts to make the build I want. I would suggest, Fell, shoot the Mark 18 when you get it first and see if you even need to. Yes, a lot of people will swap out some parts. You may want to go from like go to like a 45-degree sweep for your safeties. I know some people that actually remove the ambi safety from their AR-15s because they don't like them hitting their hand. So you'll figure out exactly what you want once you get it. But I would definitely suggest that you try the gun before you mess with it. Civilians shouldn't have guns. That is said by somebody who lives somewhere where they can't have guns. Because unfortunately, and I'm not trying to be insulting with this, you don't understand gun culture. You don't understand guns. You don't understand gun ownership. All you understand by with that one sentence is probably what you've seen on the news. And when you just take the news, which is nothing but sensationalized bullshit, where for clickbait and views and viewership, you will never have a good understanding about how firearms work. Firearms are in the Olympics. Liam, pretty good. Fell says, it's going to be my first AR-15. Can't wait. Congratulations, bro. I'm sure it will serve you well, especially doing the one and done and buying a freaking Mark 18 for your first gun. Holy shit, good for you, dude. Fish, what is going on? I always wonder, when your name is Fish Doctor, are you literally a doctor of fish? Guns and gun ownership is fine. Gun culture you just mentioned can get very weird, and that's the issue. It's so diverse from one side to the other. Your opinion on guys building shit hits a fan rifles with FRTs or super safeties? If it's a true shit hits a fan gun, who cares? That gun is designed for when the laws are no longer applicable. So I'm fine with it. What's up, Broke, by the way? Who, what, when, why, how, guns and gun ownership is fine, gun culture is. So yes, you do have people that are die hard, come and take it, fuck you government, I'll build my own, screw you culture. You got people that are, guns are just pretty. But I got into guns so late in life. I was 38 years old when I started shooting guns. I don't have that, like, mentality that other people have. I am fine. Not taking off the hat. Oscar Pistorius was in the Olympics too. Not for shooting. I'm at 14 handguns and absolutely hate if I have to sell any. That only happens if I need money. Yes, so I agree with you. When I started my gun store, I put like 45 of my guns in here, and I wound up selling like almost 55 to 60 of my private collection. That shit hurt. Paid a lot of bills, but that shit hurt. Every gun he buys makes his eyes move farther apart. Yes, eventually they'll wrap back around, and then I can see behind me and shoot everything. Take off the shirt. Dude, you don't have the money, bro. I was going to make things super complicated for you, Stone. I was going to be like, so you got a choice tonight, brother. Match X, Benelli M2. Which one do you want? But then I was like, fuck that. I'm keeping the Benelli. Touche. Thank you, Steve. Also, I have an itch on my back, so give me a second. Don't look at my asshole. Scratching like a brown bear. Ugh. Take off the socks. $100. I'll take off the socks. Doing an FDE in black. Have a picture on my phone. I'm copying the exact build off the picture. Nice, dude. I got an itch on my front. Can I get some help? It's more fun when you take care of it yourself because the happy ending is yours and yours alone. You're not a shotgun guy. Dude, that's a Benelli, though. Come on, bro. It's a Benelli, bro. Bro, it's a fucking Benelli, bro. So I have some plans for that gun because I got it. You know what I paid for it. So I got it cheap enough. I'm ordering a carbon fiber extended mag tube. A 5-rounder with that barrel will actually flush it out. And then I have already ordered the optics plate for the top and the tactical stock. And I will still be hundreds less than retail on that gun. Got any 32 autos? Sold it all. What pistol is next to the Sig 320? Directly to the side of it is a Gerson Match X. It is unfortunately going to somebody else right now. How much for the teddy bears? They are not for sale. Sorry. Dodge City Kid, what's up, man? Much respect for handling the chirps with class. I'm trying to, brother. I'm trying to. I find it's better if I just kind of roll with it now. I used to just get offended, but I'm done being super offended by shit. It's not fun anymore. I have a Benelli Nova Tactical. It's almost 20 years old, not one jam. Yeah, they shouldn't. The Nova's an awesome gun. Damn, getting any more in? I mean, I can order it. If you need me to order some for you, you can contact the store. Do I have an OnlyFans? No, I was going to start one, but unfortunately, I didn't want to compromise the YouTube channel. So, backstory. I've worn fake titties on this channel. I've worn a cat suit and fake titties and bounced around in a bikini and all that shit. And I wanted to start an OnlyFans because after somebody paid for those, somebody sent me a bunch of sex toys and stuff, so I was going to take them all to the range and shoot them. Can't do that on YouTube. Are you okay? How have you been? I'll be all right. Death in the family kind of brings the whole mood down, and I'll be traveling up north this upcoming week. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't see that. It's a live stream, dude. Just go around October of last year near Halloween. That's when I did it. I also wore a Halloween-themed maid's uniform one time. For your birthday, you bought your first GI style 1911. Nice, dude. All right, Dennis. Awesome. Just thejimmini@gmail.com. Ammo in the United States can be sent to just about everywhere. I'm not sure if California is being pissy about it, but yeah. Yeah, tonight is a real slow night. This is the other reason why I did the live stream tonight, because I didn't do Wednesday or what fucking day is it? I didn't do Wednesday because we did the Monday live stream, and then 3 minutes after I woke up on Tuesdays when I found out. So, do I have a store? If so, where are you? I am in Northern Virginia. However, my store is online only right now, and special orders and transfers. I'm not carrying inventory at this time because I got tired of selling my private collection. I sold one to my buddy Stone because I had to buy a car. That's all there is to it. It's just like with the guns. When I get a good enough deal that I can't pass up, I don't pass it up. I'm local. I'll stop in. All right. So go to Google and type in Wind City Armory. Grab the phone number and text me or call me. I'm not running regular store hours. The HVAC is still out, so the store is very hot. Also, I'm not carrying shit right now. I'm doing a lot of online sales for like electronics and stuff. So I really haven't been running the store open. So found out Wednesday one of the elders at the church has more guns than me. A lot of people have more guns than you. No, I'm just kidding. Although I am surprised when you told me you only have 8 from me. I could have swore you had like 11 from me. All right, Dennis. Julio, no problem, dude. No problem. So just make sure to like the live stream. It's a very slow live stream tonight because it is Friday night, and I'm sure everybody is out in force. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I also realized I might have gotten the wrong pick rail optics mounting system. So I got a red dot or a scope mounting rail for the top of the Benelli. And I realized it doesn't have the raised rear sight on it. So I might have to order that too. Is that the X Pro 1 on the X5 Legion? The optic? No, that is the Romeo 1 Pro. 8 pistols didn't include the rifle. Yeah, it still seemed like you got a lot more of my guns. Although I got the Night Stalker back from you. But that means technically you got 2 from me because I traded you that 30-30 for the Night Stalker. Shang Shang? Yeah. Oh, is that what they consider it as the same? Okay, sorry. I haven't really been messing with optics too much on the high end because I've been dealing, well, technically I have been. I've been playing with Holosun's 509 and the EPS full size. Listening while getting everything ready for my cowboy match tomorrow. Joe, thank you for coming in. Guys, go check out Joe South. He is a cowboy shooter, revolver. I met him over on Desert Armory. Dude is amazing. You've probably seen his shorts, right? And didn't know it. Do you have a PCC like a Kuna, or do you have anything like HK? HK is a very expensive brand for true PCCs and PDWs. No, so I don't have any real HKs right now. Is 30-30 ammo always shot with the lever gun? No, not always, but it is a rimmed cartridge. It's straight wall, but it's rimmed, so you do need to shoot it out of something like a revolver. Look up the Magnum Research BFR in 30-30. And the Thompson Contender. Yes, a lot of single shots, break actions can do it. What's the best 22 pistol to get? If you want something semi-auto that is going to be a reliable one, get a Taurus TX22. Second would be the Sig Sauer P322. Those are my top 2 recommendations. If you want a revolver, Heritage is hard to go wrong with. That is a Heritage Barkeep in 22. They're like $160. That one has the 22 Magnum cylinder with it, which is like another $30. So for a couple $100, you'll have a very reliable single action army style 22. Buff, what's going on? What about the Walther P22? The Walther P22 can be a little bit finicky on its ammo. It does run well when it runs well, but it's also very low capacity at 10 rounds versus the TX22 or the Sig 322. Both of those, the TX22 were originally 16 round minimum, and the 322s were 20 rounds. So yeah, absolutely. Those are my highest recommendations. There are obviously other ones. Umarex, who manufactures tons of 22s, they make, well, for example, sorry, I have to look. They're all the same. The Hammerly 22 up there, that's a Hammerly 22 caliber 1911. It's made by Umarex. They also make the Beretta M922, the Smith & Wesson 22. They manufacture the HK MP5 in 22. So Umarex manufactures, I think they manufacture more 22 long rifle guns than anybody else in variants. What about the Glock 44? The only reason to get a Glock 44 is if you have a Glock 19 or a Glock pattern gun and you want to practice using it and shooting it for the battery of arms. I don't recommend it. They can be finicky with light ammo. A lot of time they need hot ammo, so you wind up spending near 9mm ammo prices to get like Ely and good ammo to get it to run reliably. So my recommendation is only get a Glock 44 if you're trying to get the same battery arms as a 19, 17, 45, etc. Because that's the only reason to own one. What model is that? 12 gauge. That is the Benelli M2 first gen. It is not the upgraded one. The easiest way to tell an upgraded M2 from an original is the square bolt release on the Gen 2s, or pardon me, the updated ones they came out with that has the small round button for the bolt release. Yeah. You loved your Smith & Wesson 22s, had it about 26 years. Nice. It's almost full size season. Can't wait. Yeah. I mean, I carry a 5-inch 1911 all the time anyways. Buff says clean. Thank you. Been thinking of you. We didn't know each other, but as real as real. Sadly, most are not caring and young and lost. Well, Joshua, I appreciate the sentiment. You've been around a long time, and I appreciate that. Ever messed with any slug guns? No. I'm not really a long gun guy. I buy them if they're an incredible deal that I can't say no to because I'm a stupid idiot who sees sale price. I'm like, so this is not an insult to my mother, but she'll go to Costco and spend $800 because if she didn't spend $800, eventually she would have spent $1,400. You know what I mean? If it's on sale, she'll buy 3 times as much. You don't do much plinking with 22s. No. Number one, I usually buy 22 caliber handguns so cheap that I wind up flipping them and making a lot of money on them. But number two is so little recoil that they feel like toys. Air Max, what's up? No problem, I meant it. Tough is real, not those who try to be tough. Thank you, appreciate that one. Have you ever shot any of the Panzer M4s? I have not. I want to shoot the Panzer, and then I want the Orthos. But here's the deal. I wound up getting a Benelli M2 that you can put the tactical stock on. They're $150 for the tactical stock with the pistol grip. And I'm going to get one of those, and I'm going to have my buddy Greg stipple it like he did the Match X and the Night Stalker. Can you hit the target of a size of a quarter 100 yards away with a pistol? I've never tried. I can hit 15, 20 yards pretty reasonably. I'm sure with enough practice I could, but just cold, no. Do you think 22 long rifle has any application other than plinking? Yes, small game, backpacking, woods walking, survival rifles. A lot of survivals are 22 long rifle because you can carry a lot of 22 long rifle and the guns are typically lighter. But plinking is a very, very, very good. What's the 5-inch 1911? It's a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 in 45 ACP. If you go to my channel, like if you click on the name of the channel, if you're on mobile and you go to the videos, it'll be the top 5 1911s that I own. I'm going to have to revise that list because I sold one to my buddy. And he's going to force me to send it to him. Even though I'm going to bitch at him for a year till he winds up trading me back. Dude, I got other guns, man. Just saying. I love you, Stone. I like the 22 pistols with the fancy triggers. A mag in 2 seconds is cool. Yes, the TX22s with the FRTs are pretty interesting. That's a lot of ammo to load. What about Mare's Legs? I picked one up in 357. Never really shot one. It kind of falls under the long gun idiom to me. A pistol grip Mare's Leg? Yeah, I'd shoot one of those. Any lever guns? I've got a couple, but nothing from 2025, so I really don't talk too much about them. Stromboni! Night Stalker was my name in Los Angeles. Wasn't Night Stalker a killer? Anyways, if you run into an M&P 1522, hit me up. I can always run into them. Do you think it's worth it to spend the extra money to get the 1301 rather than the Beretta A300? If you are an experienced shooter and you can tell the difference in the systems, yes. If you're just looking for a semi-auto shotgun, no. Either one will do you well. CCI standard pressure 22 ammo. I can shoot an aspirin off a balloon at 100 yards. Nice. I still cry every night since Para-Ordnance sold to Remington when they stopped making them. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure the reasoning behind why they technically did that. And technically they didn't sell to Remington. They sold to Freedom Group, which was a bullshit move on Freedom Group. So a little bit more into the backstory about what happened with Para-Ordnance. Para-Ordnance is out of Canada, the original Para-Ordnance. They used to sell kits. If you look at a lot of early Para-Ordnance guns, the frames are stamped made in Canada, and they usually have like a Taylor's or somebody else's top on them or Caspian or something. And then they started manufacturing in the United States. My Black Ops is a United States built gun, but a lot of my other Paras are Canadian built. Well, Freedom Group acquired Para-Ordnance because they were having some money troubles. Para-Ordnance and Remington were selling the exact same gun. So a para-ordnance expert is the exact same gun, especially in 2014, 2015, 2016, as the Remington R1 Enhanced. In fact, if you look at 2016 Remington R1 Enhanced guns, some of them, not all of them, obviously they ran out of parts, but if you look at the LPA rear sight on a lot of them, they actually say para-ordnance on the rear sight. So what happened was Remington wanted $1,100 for the Enhanced. Para-ordnance was selling them for $700. So Freedom Group was like, we want profit, we want profit, we want profit. So they killed para-ordnance in 2016 and sold them all under Remington. You had a P1440? Oh, man, that would be a cool one. Trade it back? Nah, lol. Well, technically I haven't sent it to you yet, and there's no documentation besides YouTube videos, long, shorts, and text chains, but no, I'm just fucking with you. I'll get it out probably next week on Monday before I go up to Connecticut. Night Stalker was a killer in the LA area. Thank you. Thought I knew that one. Is that a silencer with the Teddy? Yes. That is the Osprey 9 suppressor Gen 2 on the Night Stalker. Anyone else happy Ruger bought Marlin? They had a few years where the quality went down, but they seem good now. What if the FBI knows you have all the weapons? Well, the FBI can't do shit. The FBI investigates crossing state line kidnapping and other things. The ATF doesn't give a shit because they're the ones that issued me my federal firearms license. And additionally, I live in the United States of America where I'm not required to have a license for these firearms in the state I live in. Really want a reliable 9mm AR short. You love guns, but the only story I had was a 22 Charger, but traded for a car 20 years ago. To me, carry was more important than a range toy. I get that, man. Colt Gold Cup worth it. Looking to get one in 38 Super. The new ones since CZ bought them have gone way back up in quality. Just make sure you check it out well before you buy one. Make sure it's not made with the old parts during the bankruptcy, because that's when the parts were not right. We brought in a Gold Cup match for a person and it had the wrong trigger in it because they were just parts binning them. Browning High Power Mark III and a CZ75B Omega new. I don't like the high power of the new one because it's not really a high power. It's literally an FN 509, not a 509, but an FN S9 rebodied. Richard Ramirez, gotcha. 6 Hour 226 Skeleton Walther Q5 match stainless matte. What are we doing? Are you just naming guns, brother? Broken record, but I worked at Ruger. They laughed at me for saying 9mm Charger, then they made one. Yeah. Also, Ruger, when they came out with the LC, they said it was only going to be 5.7 by 28, and then now it's built in, what, 45 and 10? Mouse, what's up? What are you planning to get next? A compact pistol or an SBR? I have no need for an SBR. The braces work fine on a lot of the AR platform stuff. My next gun is probably going to be, I'm selling my STI Grandmaster, and I'm probably buying the SIG 211. Everyone make sure to like the live stream. Yes, please. YouTube can be dumb, and then they can also find like-minded good people. Yeah, you got to wade through a lot of stupid to get to the smart, though. It's like a river. In the middle of it is just a torrent of stupidity. But once you get to the side, you're okay. Bought an outfit and medals from eBay. I got thanked for my service, free food and drinks everywhere I go. Best investment I ever did make. Yeah, well, my prayer is that you're joking, sir. Terran Tactical and Alien 9mm. Okay, Samet, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Sadly, when research is a nil, we have to go for practicality. We can complain later. Oh, 100%, dude. I say this to a lot of people. You see guns on my wall like the Dan Wesson 2 grand and the Benelli and, you know, a lot of the other guns, the Chris Finks, the, you know, the Legions, shit like that. And you're like, oh, man has a lot of money. Fuck no. I don't have a lot of money. I've earned everything I have. What's the point of all the artillery? I am an enthusiast. I'm also a very, very interested in the engineering and design work that goes into manufacturing accurate and good-looking pistols. I don't use them for any sort of nefarious means. They are not weapons of war. Guns are not inherently dangerous. People are. The whole thing. Oh, okay, you collect them. I collect them, and I also demonstrate them on the channel. I review them. I like to look at them. So when I do the long form videos, if you click on the name and you go through the video section of the channel here, you'll see that I do a lot of what I call them tabletop reviews, but they're actually couch top. It's kind of a thing I do. Where I'll look at the gun, I'll look at the manufacturer, I'll give you my insights on things I'm noticing with the guns, and then I'll field strip them, show you how they come apart, put them back together, and then I give you, you know, the same line I give everybody on every gun is you have to decide if the gun is going to work for you. But yeah. Real recognizes real, way we want and why we need are two different things. As a kid, I'm seriously considering moving to a free state. You should, dude. You should, especially after our conversation. Do you like Mac 10s and 11s? No. Because full auto ones are prohibitively expensive for me, and the semi-auto ones, why? There's much better 9mm and 380s out there. How about the free state of Jones? What? I'm the same too, working guns. The rest are aspiration to the craft. I get that. Happy Friday, CW. Hope I make it through this BS today. You'll be fine, brother. You will be absolutely fine. Like I said, it's not a big deal. It's a movie? What's a movie? Militant! Long time no type. What's up, dude? Your ban finally expire? I mean, I didn't ban you. Oh, Free State of Jones. Gotcha. Good to see you. Good to see you too, brother. It's been a while. Get in here. Have fun. You might done did. You might done did what? All right, Samet. You have a good night, bro. This isn't Twitch. By the way, I will be starting Twitch streaming. It will be after I get back, obviously. I think I'll do it on the days I'm not streaming here. However, I may start streaming every day on YouTube as well. Oh, Mike Dunn did ban you? Nah, I don't think we did. How's Rocky doing? He's very tired today. He also ate a bunch of human food because we were stuck on the road. And, yeah, it kind of fucked me up. No, you cannot purchase one from me, Michael. You can go to FFLs and purchase firearms. AG, what's up? You can easily make semi-auto max to full auto, just like they find ways to bump fire in small areas. They're perfectly fully auto. Yeah, the problem with that sentence, brother, is I have a federal firearms license, so if I make a Mac 10 go full auto and anybody finds out about it, I'd get in trouble. You leaving us for a while? My uncle died on Tuesday, so I'm going up Monday night to visit and do the funeral. You have a Desert Eagle? No, Adriana, I sold it. Nice, you're going to be streaming on both. I need to download Twitch. Yeah, because Twitch, the big difference is if I start doing Twitch streaming, I can actually demonstrate these firearms. I can hold them, manipulate them, show them to you, take them apart, show you the fun stuff, do a cleaning stream after going to the range. I can stream from the frickin' range. Condolences, thank you. Sorry to hear it, thank you. I admit I am a realistic, emotional man. I feel we should just embrace that. I didn't mean we're soft. Respect. Yeah, no, dude. I understand where you're coming from, Joshua. What's the best color beam? Honestly, lasers are pointless unless you have a gun without good sight. So typically, the only time I would put a laser on a gun would be an extra small pocket carry or a revolver. And at that point, it's going to be whatever you see best. Purple is stupid because it's just a popularized color from idiots on the internet. Honestly, you should go for red or green. If you use a red or a green dot, you should make sure your laser is the exact same color because you're training your eyes to see that color. Every new gun has been made more complex. Absolutely. What's your Twitch channel? I haven't started it yet. I downloaded the app and I got to go through. I haven't decided if I'm going to use a camera or I'm just going to Twitch off the phone like I do for YouTube. Relevant, you'll also be my favorite Chinese restaurant owner. Thank you, JPEG. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I need to try and get it to see those. I'll put it in the live stream. You guys will know when I start doing it because I will put links and shit. Do I peep a new addition behind you? Technically 2. My condolences to your deep loss of your uncle. Take care, Peter from Australia. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. If we bury him deep enough, he'll pop out in Australia. My uncle and me lined guns and music. Loved guns and music. One day he was late, and I went to his house and found them. I feel you. How do you like the purple or pink? I'm not really into goofy colored guns unless I do it. Let us know when you start the Twitch. I will. It'll go on the Discord too. Is that a silencer? Yes. Life is hard and beautiful. Mostly hard didn't mean we're soft. No, I got it. I wish I had a gun, but I don't have one. My dad used to have one, but he don't have one anymore. And if he gets another one, he will get arrested. That's because he's a felon. Serious firearm question. What's a good, reliable starter AR-15? The ones that most people will recommend will be Diamondback and Radical. They are available in the $350 to $500 range. They use all mil-spec style parts, so they're very upgradable. But they also use reasonable metals like T60s or T7076 aluminum for their frames and the body, so they're going to be able to take a lot of rounds. Yep. So Diamondback or Radical firearms. My eggs? I ate your eggs. Thoughts on the 320? Heard bad things about it. You heard bad things about it. There's a lot more research to be done, and once you do it, you will find that the vast majority of 320s are actually fine. The guns affected were manufactured prior to 2021, and they're typically, because there's been no documented case yet of a flat face trigger 320 doing this, but they're typically base model guns. So the easiest way to avoid having that problem is buy a new one, and don't be a cheap bitch. Do I have a TT33? No, Dr. Murphy. I actually sold my TT33. I had a pre-import restricted TT33, so I had no added safeties, no anything, and I ND'd it into a wall. Any NAA minis? No, not my style. Awesome response. Thanks. No problem, Peter. Appreciate you taking the time to hang out. How do you feel about the switches with the extended clips that are popular today? We don't call them clips. We call them magazines here on the YouTube channel of the Jimmini Show, but I don't care. Switches are dumb because they waste ammo. If you ever watch somebody shooting one of those guns, they don't control that shit for nothing. Those rounds go all over. So if you want to actually be effective with the Glock, don't put a switch in it. If you want to be a dumbass who fires 80 rounds everywhere, put a switch in your gun. I'm jealous, no problem. Ifran, what's up? Tokarev is a serious round. Yep. Why do you have so many guns? I'm a collector. I'm a YouTube channel. I'm a reviewer. I appreciate the mechanical engineering that goes into them. I appreciate the design that goes into them. And like guns are like gold, silver, jewels, investment bonds. If you buy them right, they can be investments. I didn't buy them with the intent to make them investments, but they can be investments. I've been meaning to ask you, what do you think of Colt Gold Cups? Older ones I like. The 2014 to 2022s, not so much because their quality went down. That's why Colt went bankrupt again. But the new ones seem fine. What's up, Hunter? Heritage Roscoe, Saturday night. Sounds like fun. Not one Staccato on the wall. There's a very good reason. Staccato is for fucking idiots. Buy an STI. If you spend the asking price on a Staccato, you're a fucking moron. I had a C2 that I paid $1,500 on for it, and it had a Delta Point Pro on it, and I sold it. I didn't like it at $1,500. I'm not paying $3,000 for one. Why no Glocks? Overrated, overpriced. Same problem. Do you think the government will take away your guns in the future? There are 500 million guns in civilian hands in the United States of America. No. To your group of enemies, you have a switch with an extended mag. It'd be a good option to have, though, right? No, because you're not able to control the recoil of that. You need a stock and a grip to make those things usable. And all these idiots are using Pro Mag shit. They're using Pro Mag drums. Those things jam all the time. Staccato's better than anything on the wall. Ha! Marl, go back over to any other gun tuber, because I started reviewing later in life, and I'm also somebody that finds deals, and even buying a Staccato C2 at $1,500, I couldn't find the value in it. So if that's what you believe, do this and have a great night. I don't see H&K. I don't spend H&K money. I can tell you this before you go, Marl. That DWX at $2,000 will outshoot any Staccato made. That Chris Sphinx will outshoot the C2 any fucking day of the week. My X5 Legion will outshoot an XC. So no. They are not worth the price of entry. MC, what's going on? I can see how that makes sense. Pretty much. What's the semi-auto shotty? That is a Benelli M2, first gen. What's the gun with the blue grip? That is a CZ SP01. Bolt, what is going on, sir? What's your favorite gun? 1911s are my favorite gun. I'm a big fan, as you can tell looking at the wall, I'm a big fan of all metal guns that are hammer fired. And here's the thing. I know by me ripping on Staccato that I will never get a gun from them for a review. And that's fine, because I don't like their shit. My Match X will outshoot an XC. In fact, Pewview, Nick from Pewview, one of the best shooters on YouTube, said the exact same thing. He throws the Staccato off of his top 5 list, yet a Match X is on his top 5 list. If you learn how to and hit your target with the first shot, you never need a switch. Pretty much. What about a Taurus 740 Slim? What's your take on it? Is it a decent firearm? I don't know if I've ever messed with one, honestly. What's the thought on the Sig 211 GTO? Is it worth the asking price of $2,200 to $2,400? Yes, because of what it comes with. You're getting a dedicated metal chassis, framed body. Everything is metal on it, except for a couple of pieces, obviously, the G10 grips and shit. But it's bespoke to Sig, the design work that went into it. It's not just a 2011. And I was playing with one today, and I am getting one as soon as one comes available. I love double action. That's fine. I'm not a big fan of double action guns. Platypus outshoots Staccatos all day long, and at $1,800 to $2,300. It's the best shooting pistol you've shot. The best shooting pistol I ever shot was a CZ Tactical Sport Orange that I had, and I stupidly sold it to Stonehaven. Hello, Will Smith. You're welcome. I want to know your favorite gun because mine is actually the Desert Eagle. I've told you 3 times. It's a 1911. Only double action you like is a car. I like some of the Beretta stuff, but I'll go with the Taurus PT92, an early one, because it has a frame-mounted safety, which I actually prefer. You need more guns. Give me money. Also, you've never seen all my guns. Best high-power clone. In my opinion, the Gerson MCP35 is the most accurate clone. The English clones, which are actually built on old high-power tooling, is really good as well. But the Gerson has the most compatibility. Oh yeah, good point. Beretta is good too. Yep. I'm just throwing that out there. I love my MCP35 Ops. I never got around to buying one, and I really need to. It's one of those guns where it just kind of slipped my mind, and I just never bothered getting one. I had the original, and then I got rid of it when I sold my Browning to Stone. By the way, Stonehaven, who's one of my mods, has probably bought more of my guns than anybody else. Everybody remember to get liked and subscribed, okay? I'm trying to grow the algorithm here on YouTube, and the only way I can do that is if you guys come along. So even if you don't watch many of the videos, watch a couple, check out the new ones, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and it helps me grow the channel without me begging you for money. If you want to give me money, fuck it, send it, but... no, bro, you're right, a Beretta is awesome. Some just ain't as good enough to do a double single. Yeah, that's true. What's my favorite song? My favorite song... Good question. All of a sudden, my brain just stopped. I cannot think of a single song title. Fly me to the moon. Is that a Smith & Wesson above your head? Nope. Your rating on the SP01. The SP01 is an excellent gun. It is a shorter barrel than I normally carry, but for firing and shooting and having fun with, it's an excellent firearm. Has the pick rail so you can run lights, lasers, bazookas, small children with tactical nukes. So, yes. I would give that a 7.5 out of 10. The inverted slide rails make the gripping area of an SP01 quite small, so it could have better gripping textures on the slide. The SP01, unless you get the tactical, it still has the vertical rear serrations and the canted front serrations, and your fingers can slip off it easily. Lasagna or manicotti? Lasagna, my guy. Dan, what's up? You got the APX Beretta, you're not impressed? It's fine. Thoughts on solvent traps? No thoughts. What one is on top right? Oh, watch Stone around your pup. He will try to steal him. It's funny because my dog went nuts on him. That is a Heritage rough barkeep. But yeah, I took Rocky with me when I went down to visit Stone the last time, and Rocky was barking at him because he thought I was leaving him with him. Am I going to go... You going to go over the wall, or did I miss it? I will go over it again. I would watch Stone around your pup. Yep, he's a Grateful Dead fan. I like the country song, When Did I Get Old? When Did I Change? I don't recognize the world. I don't remember the change. Cool guns, thank you. What do I think about ARM1s? I don't really think about them. I have custom AR-15s. I don't know what an ARM1 is. Fired and striker on the wall. Well, let's go over all the guns and we'll see what's up there. So, up at the top is a bolt-action Sears Model 43103. Below that is my Keltec KS7. Next to that is the CZ SP01 with blue grips on it. Next to that is a G-Force Arms Chronicle 1911 that I built just for shits and grins. The XF Pro from Fusion Firearms, excellent firearm. Glock compatible barrel and a few other parts, but not a Glock clone. The Star Arms Fire Star, which is a 45 ACP little handgun, very fun. The Yeet Cannon, which sometimes rocks the suppressor, that's why the threaded barrel protector is not on it. The Daria Arms DY9 with the island ported barrel. The TSOS Night Stalker 1911 double stack with the Osprey 9 2.0 on it. Ruger 1022 Target with the bolt barrel. That is getting a Sharps Brothers Heat Seeker chassis. They are awesome in sending me one. Benelli M2 12 gauge semi-auto with the 24-inch barrel. I'm getting the extended mag tube, and it'll be flush fit in carbon fiber and the pistol grip. The Dan Wesson DWX 9mm double stack, custom finish and wearing a mailbox. Thank you, Burrs, for that. Hammerly 22 long rifle 1911 single stack. Heritage Barkeep. It's a Rough Rider short barrel basically with a 22 mag cylinder with it. The Gerson Match X. Yeah. Sig P320 X5 Legion 9mm with the Armory Craft dual adjustable trigger. One of my favorite striker fired handguns. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Fusion Firearms XP Pro, a 2011 style firearm that takes Glock mags, customized grip. I ruined it. Sig P365 Fuse, that is the 3.7-inch barreled 9mm with the 17 rounds. Actually, it's got the extended mags in it. Chris Sphinx SDP Compact Alpha. Very nice gun. And then a Tanfolio Witness in 9mm. Those barkeeps are fun little revolvers. Yes, they didn't actually normally come with a Magnum cylinder, but they do work in there, so I put it in there. Believe it or not, Heritages use a very similar material to High Points. So it is not a strong alloy. It's a zinc-based alloy, so you got to be careful. Wait, is that a High Point? Yes, it's a High Point because it's an actual yeet cannon. It is not one of those G1s that are spray painted. It's an actual yeet cannon. You gonna shoot that fuse this time? No idea. I traded the VP9 for it, so. Do you still have that oil spill looking gun? You gotta be more specific, brother. I'm not 100% sure which one it is. Oh, you're talking about the English high power clone? No, I sold it to a buddy. Is the accuracy good on the CZ? Yes, I can very confidently say even the high point on this wall is going to be more accurate than the average shooter can be. APX A1, I mean, the trigger is awful. Yes. What would you suggest for my first concealed carry gun? I don't make that suggestion to you. What I will tell you to do, my recommendation is go to a gun store. Feel a bunch of different guns that you might want to carry and see which one fits your hands the best. Make a list, a ranking of them, and then find a range that will let you rent those guns. Shoot those guns at a range, and then you will that's English for you, but you will then find which gun you like the best. I take it the Daria is a Glock copy clone, and I still find that they can put 17 rounds in that small footprint on the fuse. Yeah, it's fucking magic, dude. You set the mag on top of the side of the frame, and you can't even believe they fit. The Daria is an excellent one. The thing that sets the Daria apart from like the RXM and the daggers and stuff is that the Daria top is actually Gen 4, Gen 5 compatible. So if you just want to get the lower and have a different lower with your Gen 5 top, if you have an MOS and you just don't like the grip angle, etc., you can actually get a Daria and swap that. So it makes it a little bit extra. Youngins, bro, that is the Legion, bro. Much better gun. I would never have a base model. I actually bought an M17, went through the whole gun and modified it. So I concealed carry with the 30-round clip. Magazine, and there are guns that can carry 30 rounds, but you definitely have to have your concealed carry license in the state of Virginia. Is brass bad for an AK? No, it just gives it the idea that it's a good gun. When I saw a short on it today, someone was shooting it right away. I thought of the one you had. Yeah, no, I sold it because my buddy wanted it because he loved it, and then he sold it immediately instead of selling it back to me. An ARM-1 is a Bulgarian milled AK variant. Ah, gotcha. Never messed with one. Is brass harder on an AK trunnions? I don't think so. I don't think the pressure is any different, is it? Hold on, let me double check. I understand what you mean because the steel case contains the pressure better. Is brass bad for AK? I don't think so. I just think steel is cheaper. It's not inherently bad for an AK pattern rifle, but an AK's robust and aggressive ejection mechanism can damage brass-cased ammunition. So I guess if it's a good AK, it might tear your rims. Do I prefer blued and black or silver nickel guns? It depends on the gun. Very good question, Dan. On a 1911, 2011 style gun, I prefer a stainless finish. The different angles and stuff seem to carry stainless better. When you do a stainless finish on like a Glock or a lot of other guns, a lot of striker fired guns, it looks cheap. But on a 1911, for some reason, a good stainless looks great. My state doesn't have a permit to conceal or carry. Militant, what he's saying is they have constitutional carry. Constitutional carry is great until you try to leave your state. And if you live in a state that has constitutional carry, you do have concealed carry permits. You're just not required to have one. If you live in a state with constitutional carry and that's all you want to do is carry in your state, then by all means go for it. But I highly recommend getting a CCW. You rotate your CC guns. You carry the PPK 380, 1911 and 45, and a snub nose 38. I sometimes will carry a different gun. Like I bought the Fuse. I traded for the Fuse, and I might actually start carrying it because I actually like the way that gun feels. The reason I sold it before was because I was able to trade it for a Prodigy, and I sold that to Stonehaven. Stonehaven, by the way, owns many of my fucking guns. Oh, you would own more, but our buddy bought one or two from me. I use brass all the time. Yep. Don't worry, but I think there's a gun on your wall. Don't worry, they're all cocked and locked and ready to rock. I mean, I don't need any permit, true, it varies state to state. Oh yeah, absolutely, Viking. I love my nickel Colt Cobra, shit makes me feel like a pimp. Revolvers. A 357 revolver does look good in a polished finish. Big Erm, what's up? I'm drinking, don't worry. My father had a Browning 9mm. Brownings are awesome. I had one. Guess who has it? Stonehaven. AIM has a P320 with an alpha red dot for $400. That seems like an excellent price. If it has a curved trigger, spend $40. Get the X trigger, X flat face trigger, and it will solve a lot of your problems. A CCL makes it easier to buy guns. Also a felony, because then you don't even worry about paperwork. How many of the guns that you sold them do you want back? Honestly, right now, 2. I already want the Match X back, and I haven't even sent it to him, and my Tactical Sport Orange. It's still mine. Dude, I've never asked you for the Black Rain. I've never asked you for the AXG. Oh, by the way, did you count the Spectre comp in your list? The P320 Spectre comp? His Browning came in a wooden case with a knife. Dude, awesome. 1911 or Judge. On me or in truck. That's a personal decision. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Gotcha. Good choices, Robert. Match X for the orange. Well, the problem is he's already paid for the Match X, so if I don't send it to him, I'm kind of committing a crime. Which ones are the best for zombies? 12 gauge, bro. Benelli. M2. Semi-auto. Empty the mag tube. Fill the mag tube back up. Yeah, they sell a carbon fiber extended mag tube for the Benelli M2 for it's like $100 and something bucks. I just don't want to pay over $400 for a reliable handgun. I agree that it's expensive to get a reliable handgun, Vikings, but I'm going to put this out to you and take this from somebody who started only buying cheap guns. Don't do that. If you're looking for something that's a good carry gun, don't be afraid to spend money. Now, you may find an excellent gun for under $400. A used Glock 19 is a hell of a deal if you get one for about $300. I don't like Glock, but if you can get one for $300, I highly recommend it because they eat almost everything because they have terrible tolerances and shitty builds. But they run, and that's why they're good. What's up, Slim Jim? How's it feel to want? Me? Or the other guy? Browning Q5 Match, Sig 320, 226, 09 Nocturne, TSO, Prodigy, Match X. God, it seems like there's something we're missing in there, dude. Bro wants a high point and a Lorsen. I had a Lorsen, and I have a high point. What's up, dude? Bass, how you doing, dude? XD Mod 3 is a very good carry gun if you can live with the plastic rear rail. Oh, I agree. Actually, the XDs are a very viable carry gun. You can practice with them, anything technically is. Buy the carbon tube extension with caution, so I won't blow apart mid-stage. I won't be doing a lot of shooting with it. I want it mostly for looks, and the one I was looking at seemed to have good ratings. Like, it was recommended highly, so that sucks that one blows up, though. Didn't he get the lever or something also? Yeah, so he's only talking about pistols. That Night Stalker, I sold him like a year and a half ago, and I wanted it back for very sentimental reasons, so I traded him a lever action for it. The lever and the Black Rain. Yeah, he's got my Black Rain Fallout 15. I always say they're mine. I don't care. I know they're yours. I know that you own them, but I always say they're mine. The High Point AR-15 might be good. Lol. It'll be fine. It's an aluminum-bodied AR-15. It's going to be better than an ATI. I guarantee that. that a Shadow 2? No, that is an SPO1, and that is a Tanfolio Witness. It looks like a Shadow because Shadows actually copied Tanfolio's grip angle. Ruger Security 9 is a great gun for a good price. Yes. Underrated gun. Agreed. Actually a good chat. Yeah, because we're actually having a good chat. Also, I'm not just fighting back against trolls. I'm actually just letting it go. My current carry rotation is Beretta and Glock. There you go. Would you count the P10F since I kind of bought it from you? No, I don't count that one because I didn't own it. Did you count the M&P 2.0 metal? Technically, I was going to keep that for myself. I think that's the one that's missing from your list. My father used an old round in his Glock. It blew the mag out. His whole hand was black. That sucks. Jimmini pulling out the Debo card. Lol. What do you think about Q firearms? I like the Honey Badger in principle. It's a very expensive firearms, but the Sugar Weasel, holy shit, $1,600 AR. So it is a little more expensive than your standard ARs. But goddamn, if you've ever taken it apart and looked at the polishing alone they do in the trigger group, that gun is quality. And you can usually find it for $15. Nice toy collection. Thank you. My uncle has a Security 9. It's a good gun. Very weird rail, though. It won't take my TLR2 with 1913's key. Yeah, so a lot of manufacturers look like 1913, but they're technically proprietary. For example, I got a couple of lights that won't go on some of these guns. What's the gun with the can? That is the TSOS Night Stalker Bass. If you go to my channel and look at sort by most viewed videos, it's like third or fourth or something like that. That gun started the entire thing of me not taking shit from manufacturers. First gun I grabbed, my 410 pistol grip, right next to my bed. Good choice, Robert. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one because it's currently my carry. That's why I was thinking there was another one because I couldn't think of it. Good thing is you know your guns are being used and taken care of. Yes, and he's very good with his gun. He's better with my guns than I ever was. I will give him that. And as soon as I sell the Grandmaster, I'm getting the 211 GTO or GTD. You're gay. I'm gay for women. Women make my gay penis hard. I think it should be mandatory for one optic platform and light rail. Yeah, that would be nice, but it'll never happen. They just had to make Type-C chargers universal. Holy shit, Wrenches is in the chat, just not talking. What's up, bro? What's the gun above the high point? That is a Star Arms Firestar M45. It's the 45 variant of the Firestar. For those of you that don't know, in 2002, a very high-ranking political figure was assassinated with an M43. Do you have a Draco? Nope. I don't know, guys. This would be the last man I disrespect. Oh, I'm pretty laid back about a lot of people, man. Speaking of proprietary rails, one thing I found out is HK's first gen AR used something that looked like key lock, but it wasn't really. Really? Did not know that, Maverick. Working non-stop. Sorry. Is TSOS a good gun? I know nothing about them. They are very decent. So a lot of the Turkish gun manufacturers saw Canik was being very popular in the United States. So they jumped on the bandwagon and all started manufacturing guns. They did it quickly. The guns had a lot of issues. Over the last probably 10 years, a lot of them, Gerson, TSOS especially, have massively stepped up the quality of their firearms. They're definitely worth recommending now. 4 years ago, they were, but now, yes, they are as good as any other gun at that price point. My 1-year-old keeps stealing all my stuff. Kick him. He's one. What's he going to do? I saw a brand called Kestel. Are they any good? What is Kestel? I've never heard of that. Jim's a little laid back since he went on that date with Lena Michalik. He learned not to talk back. Well, Tara Tactical comes in here every now and then. I go on a date with her. Have you ever seen a Llama 45? I haven't seen one in 40 years. Yes, actually, there's a place near me called CS Arms. There are a lot of vintage stuff. They have one right now. I was considering it. They also have a Peter Soley. which if you watch Forgotten Weapons, you'll know that he kind of likes. Did I say she? Did I say he? Whatever. What is a good gun? Oh yeah, your daughter. That's even better. They don't fight well. They fight like girls. 1 year old and he's already mastered the craft of every child. Impressive. 410 is a good round. Absolutely agreed. Is it true CZ had their hands in what happened with the gun laws in Canada? If they did, that would be amazing. I don't know anything about that. I would think that the king and the queen, you know, because they still respect a patriarchy, matriarchy, and a king-queen bullshit. 410 is good, depending on what you need. Yep. Had a Canic, sold it to buy my Browning. There you go. That's actually a good way to go. I know people that have traded high powers to buy Canics, and that's not a good way to go. I'm guessing Bodie was spamming? Is it Keltec? Keltec I know, Kestrel I've never heard of. Do I watch WWE? No, I don't watch WWE anymore. I did way back in the day, but it kind of got old, repetitive, and the fighting between McMahon and the owners of WCW, it wore me out. He's asking what's a good gun for kidnapping. The comment I see that you removed was what's the best gun for deer hunting? What's the next gun you're thinking about purchasing? The Sig 211 GTD or the Sig 226 X5 Classic? I took my buddy, my STI Grandmaster, and he's looking at it to buy it. I am lactose intolerant, Xavier, so neither. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, and check out some videos. Yes, if you like the videos, please do that for me. It'd make a big difference in my life. I don't really do rifles, man, so maybe somebody in the comments can ask you. Stopped watching wrestling last year when I realized it's mostly fake. No problem. I get it, Cody. That's why I was asking. No big deal. Just making sure. I miss a lot of comments, and the ones that get held, I don't even see the notification in my chat. Bro's about to get YouTube shut down. Actually, that would be impressive if somebody managed to get me shut down on YouTube. Do I have an auto 50 cal? No, I wish I did. What's your most favorite gun? 1911 platform is my favorite. My dad is doing a cookout November 1st if you want to come and bring the Match X. Agreed. That'll give me a month to find a gun that you really want more than the Match X. Last one I bought was a CZ Scorpion Evo. Love it. Oh, yeah. Everybody tells me they are. I've never shot one. I was going to, but for some reason Stone didn't have his mags for it. Bergara B14 Hunter is a great cheap rifle. You can get in 308. Yeah, and if you can find a used Savage Scout, those are really solid. Have you seen the TX22 with the FRT? I've seen some clips. I haven't actually watched any of them. Obvious liberal. No, actually, I don't believe in any political party. I believe that defining one's person based on politics is the stupidest thing you can do right now because all politicians are bought and paid for. Don't give a fuck who you name. They're all bought and paid for. Do you think Glock would be as popular if it didn't have a cool name like Glock? No, they'd still be popular just because they have good marketing. They could be called Guppy and they would still sell as many guns because they made people think that they're perfect when all they are is mediocre, reliable. They're reliable through mediocrity. That should be their actual tagline. And that comes from a guy that has a fucking Glock tattoo. Their tagline should be perfection through mediocrity. Getting your hands on a transferable M2 or M134 would be difficult to say the least. Yep, you are right. They're very expensive. What do you think about the Franklin Armory new AR pistol that's actually a rifle? Haven't seen it, but I'd be interested in it. You forgot the mag. Yep. What do you think about the Franklin Armory new pistol? Holy shit. Yeah, I read it twice. Okay, I thought I was having a fucking stroke. Haven't put my hands or even watched on it, man. I'm not a rifle guy, so it always throws me off. What's your favorite gun? 1911s. The Yeet can is still the coolest gun on the wall. I'd like to disagree with you, but I can't. I don't really have a lot of guns that I would consider most powerful. I have a lot of guns that are shootable. So right now, the most powerful cartridge that I own in terms of a firearm is 4570 government, and it's in a rifle, so it's not that powerful, I'd say. Patriot, long time, man. Sorry, but I'm not buying a gun named Guppy. You would if it was a Glock. The Glock Guppy. Big dog, sorry, can't do that. Oh, and then he insults me. See how it is. Could you defeat me in a fist fight? Don't know, never met you. And why are we fighting, dude? And I probably can, because I can tell you right now, Tom, before we fight, I'm shitting in my hand. Are M&P shields good? Yes. Get a Shield Plus, though. They came out with the Shield Plus. You get a lot more capacity. You like Glock 19? Nope. What will shoot the furthest distance? What do you mean? I mean, technically a cruise missile. But if you're talking about a handgun, accuracy depends on the user and the quality of the rifling and the barrels and shit. But it comes down to the person. Like PewView can hit it 400 yards with a handgun. I can barely hit it 100. I would if it was flat like a guppy. Whoa. 45 government, the only government I trust. 1911 government. You had one gun to save in a fire, what gun would you save? I wouldn't save any of them. I've got millions in insurance. My wife has a Taurus. She thinks it's a yes-no at times. I begged him to get off, but he wouldn't stop. Me? Oh, it takes me a long time to get off. Don't forget, the male G-spot is the prostate. How's it going tonight? It's fine. Just kind of relaxing, having a talk with people so that we can just kind of keep me in the algorithm. I'm not going to be on Monday because I'm driving up for my uncle's funeral. 1911, a gallon jug at 215 yards. That's an impressive shot, dude. That's amazing. You ever feel angry and then decide to take down the person? What do you mean, like remove their comments? I do that all the time because a lot of people like to come in here and try to bypass the filters, and then they're blatantly trying to trigger me, and I let it get to me too much, so I'm really backing off of that right now. What's the best suppressor for the quietest that you can get for a 22? That is a very, pardon the pun, loaded question. There's lots of manufacturers that make good ones, the Switchback and a bunch of them. But if I put my Osprey on a 22, it'll quiet it down quite a bit. Subsonic ammo and a Switchback make them, like a Ruger Mark IV, is extremely quiet. Question, with what's going on today in society and the whole school shootings and stuff, do you think it's our right to bear arms is under attack? No. It seems like it is more than it ever has been because of the notoriety and the visibility of school shootings. But if you actually watch, there was a school shooting the day Charlie Kirk died, and then there was another school shooting, and then another church shooting. They're getting less and less coverage because fewer and fewer people are being killed because there are more targeted things and response times are getting better. All right, Tom, that one's crossing the line. I'm going to remove that one. The rest of them I can deal with, bro. I know it's a joke, but YouTube's algorithm is a bunch of dicks. Had to walk in, took 3 rounds. Dude, 3 rounds at 215 yards from a 1911, that's amazing. That trigger had a lot to do with it, but you're the main reason that hit, dude. That's amazing, James. How many guns you carry when you travel? What do you mean by travel? You mean like when I'm going up north? I'm not carrying any with me because I don't have reciprocity with Connecticut. Also, I'm not wearing a gun to a funeral. He wasn't in the mob, so I don't think I have to worry about retaliation. You laugh about Charlie Kirk, but it's no joke. I'm not laughing about him being killed. I'm just saying that the day Charlie Kirk died, there was another school shooting. I am in no way denigrating Charlie Kirk. I am in no way insulting what he stood for as a person. I don't think he was as political as people made him out to be. It's just that the people he hung out with that agreed with him were more towards one side or the other. But I am not laughing about Charlie Kirk. Thanks for answering my question. No problem, Alex. Have you had a chance to test Drunk Mouse's grip mod? No, I have not. Honestly, I have not done anything with anything the last few weeks. I'm trying to get sponsors. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff for the channel. I'm trying to do everything. Everything has been taking up my time. I apologize. Do I have any armor? No, I don't wear armor. All right, Tom, now you're kind of getting to the wrong side of things, brother. So, you have a good night, brother. How about you get some more guns? Give me money. I have a lot more guns. I just can't get them out of pawn because I don't have another fucking $6,000. I wore my grandpa's pistol at his funeral. I mean, technically I can. I just don't feel the real need to. I don't know what I'll be wearing. If I'm wearing a suit, I'd probably wear a shoulder holster, but I have no intentions on wearing. I wore my pistol in my wedding. It's all good. I've been crazy busy with work as well. That happens, brother. Clayton, no, don't go there, man. I don't like to incite speculation and stuff here on the channel. I get when people ask questions. You may be dead serious in that question, but we don't get political. We don't get religious. Honestly, the reason, even though I'm in the gun sphere and I never made a video about the Charlie Kirk, I didn't make a video on Uvalde, I didn't make a video on anything like that, is because those are incidents that require insanity, and they are incidents that I don't want to cover or give any sort of free news coverage to. The Charlie Kirk thing, tragic. It shouldn't have outshadowed a school shooting. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Think we should leave to politics out of this live. We hate each other enough already. I don't hate people. I just think politics right now is so biased towards who has the biggest pocketbooks. Look at Trump and fucking Elon Musk, dude. Elon Musk bought an appointment to be the head of Doge. They fucking named it Doge as a fucking joke because he gave fucking Trump too much money. And this is not being political. This is one person talking about another person who did something shitty. And the very fact of it is, it was a shitty thing to do. He should not have been able to buy a cabinet position, basically. Pistol Pete, what is going on, dude? I got a Benelli. Let's talk about guns. Not much left, right? Yep. No, I don't have gun pockets. I just use good holsters. We typically don't talk about religious topics. Can get hot. Yep, we all love guns. That's enough for me. Yep. Have you heard anything about needing a special class to carry your gun in church that's also a school? I have not, but I know some states will pay teachers to be armed. Damn, them guns, though. Yeah, Pistol Pete. I need to do some mods to it, though. I got it for a stupidly low price, so I had to buy it. I'm going to put, I already ordered an optics mount for it, and I'm getting the carbon fiber extended mag tube, so it's flush to the end of the barrel, and I'm getting the tactical grip, and I'm having my guy stipple it before I put it on. Do I have any World War II firearms? I have some stuff that's older than World War II, but nothing that was like a war use style firearm. I don't own any Colt 1911s from World War II, funny enough. I've just never wanted to pay full price for one. Am I allowed to carry firearms across all 50 states? You can transport them. I can do it because I have an FFL. I can transport across all 50 states. Well, technically, Hawaii and Alaska are a little more difficult to get to with a gun. Yeah, it's going to look beautiful. I hope so. I think that carbon fiber mag tube will look good. But there are many states that have stringent requirements on how to transport. Like I live near Delaware and Maryland. They do not recognize my CCW. So you have to lock up the firearm with no ammo in it, and it can't be accessible. Easiest handgun to handle recoil. That is more of a person issue than a gun issue, but something in a 22. Do I carry a gun around? In 90% of situations, unless I know I'm going to a government building, I'm armed. What's your thoughts or opinion on a 2011 versus a 1911? I don't really find that much of a distinction between the two. It's just a capacity difference, in my opinion. I have bigger hands. I'm a bigger guy. So I naturally like the bigger grips of 2011s versus a single stack 1911. I like my para-ordnance stuff. I got a couple of double stack para-ordnances. Those are just full steel frames with grip panels. So I like a little bit of a bigger gun, and I like the ammo capacity of the bigger guns. For example, For those of you that don't know, this is a 1911 mag. This is a Wilson Combat 1911 mag. Single stack, 45 ACP, holds 8 rounds in this variant. This is a STI Grandmaster mag, holds 21 rounds. So the gun is naturally going to be bigger. This holds 21 rounds of 38 Super Major. This holds 45, but you can get these in 45 that hold about 14 to 15 rounds in an extended mag. So would you recommend packing a Desert Eagle? If you can competently use it, sure, why not? Any guns that have been passed to you from descendants? Yes, 3. It would have been a lot more, but the year I got into guns was the year one of my grandparents died, and he used to work for Winchester, and they sold all the guns out of his safe to some dude for $800. They lost thousands of dollars. I don't miss living in Maryland. Yeah, I know a lot of buddies that are moving to West Virginia because ammo doesn't have tax. Donald 2011s also have a different feed ramp geometry. The caliber determines the feed ramp geometry. Also the manufacturer. There's technically, I think, 3 different ramp styles for 1911s and 2011s. The only difference is, so if you look, you can put 1911 tops on 2011s and back and forth. It's just below the grip module or the mid frame where they're different. I love World War I, World War II, but similar to what you said, I'm too cheap to pay the money. Yep. You're not a real American. I am Korean. Would you recommend packing? Yeah, I already answered that one. What's your coolest gun? That's a subjective thing. I've got a 1939 Winchester Model 1894 that I consider my coolest gun because it was my grandfather's. Do you have a hole or a pole? I'm a guy. I've got both. 500 Magnum is better than a Deagle. Yeah, but it's harder to shoot fast. Let's catch up on the Grand Canyon someday. We'll have a shooting competition. Much of the Grand Canyon is on federal land, and they discourage shooting by it. But I know what you mean. I can still carry mine from time to time. My Desert Eagle is my first concealed carry pistol. Lol. How am I just now hearing that ammo in West Virginia is not taxed? You didn't know that? Heard that 6mm is the smallest and best gun to carry. Is that right? Airsoft? No. Ammo isn't taxed here in Ohio either. Nice. Thoughts on 22 Magnum Kel-Tec? If you're talking about the PMR 30, I like that one. I carried a Desert Eagle and 44 Magnum when I was trapping in Alaska. Nice. Glocker 1911. Never ask me Glock versus anything. I'll never pick Glock. Doesn't matter. Glock versus a dead fish. I'll take the dead fish. I was told the difference in the lower frame is a 2-piece on the 2011. Yes. So I can't touch them. But a 2011 has a slide, a mid-frame, and then the polymer lower on that one. They can have metal ones. A 1911, even a double-stack 1911, is still considered a 1911 because it has just a slide and a frame. I didn't know that either. Well, there you go. I didn't know that, but I started reloading shortly after starting to shoot. There you go. Thoughts on the Taurus TX22? Great semi-auto 22 long rifle gun. If you're looking for one, it's one I would highly recommend. They're very reliable, very reasonably priced, and good guns. Glock versus Glock. I'd rather stick 2 fingers in my eyes. I wouldn't carry a PMR 30 for the simple fact they have reliability issues. If they were reliable, it'd be a very formidable option for carry gun. Interestingly enough, Cherokee, I've heard that a lot, and I have. If you carry with the red dot, you have to use a plastic body one because a metal body one can cause cycling issues. But for some reason, the PMR 30 I had never had a single failure in it. So it's Kel-Tec's cocaine quality, man. You never know what you're going to get. You look special. My mama and the people at the extra special school told me I was. They told me I can lick a window like nobody's business. I haven't had much need to buy ammo. Yep. Just fact you aren't a G-Lock fan. You got a sub for me. You really know your firearms. Thank you, Reptar. Cherokee Gunslinger, you do pay taxes on ammo in Ohio. Lol. You shoot 22 long rifle out of a long rifle. Lol. Cool dude is funny. I just misspelled Ohio every way. Currently, Ohio does not have a statewide exemption for ammo sales from sales tax, meaning ammo is subject to the state's general sales and use tax. However, there's ongoing efforts by Ohio legislation to introduce bills that would eliminate sales tax on certain firearms and ammunition, though they are not yet law. So there is a possibility that some counties in Ohio might be already implementing it as a form of protest, such as Virginia when we became 2A sanctuaries in 98 out of 104 counties. No, it did not pass yet. And even when it passes, there'll be a 180-day window for it to be challenged. Lick a window? Oh, he's making a joke trying to say that I'm mentally retarded, and window licking is a derogatory term for somebody that's mentally retarded. What's going on the shortage? Who said there is one? Hold on one second. Ammunition, caliber. You aren't wrong. Huh. I haven't had to order any in a long time. Probably a lot of embargo stuff because it looks like Double Tap, Fiocchi, Federal, and Bellum. Hornady sells Hornady Black. So Hornady, it looks like it's mostly American brands outside of like PMC. Seller and Balat makes it. PPU still makes it. Yeah, looks like there's just no real imported stuff, really. Do I own an M1 Garand or a Mini 14? Not anymore. I used to. I rattle can most of my rifles. Which one, Shibu, Milo, or Shiloh? So there's Milo, Shiloh, Greg, and Ben. They're all sloths. We need to nix our gun-free zones and vehicle long gun laws too. Yes. Gun-free zones, honestly, I carry in them unless they tell me to leave. And then if they tell me to leave, they don't deserve my business. Only American brands. Well, technically, PPU is not American. I think they're owned by an American company now. And PMC is actually Korean. So it's not a Yugoslavian Euro bloc. So nothing from that area is allowed in the United States, but out of the other places. Do you own any Mark III quality or higher? What do you mean, Mark III quality? Got any silencers? Literally a silencer, Shub. Oh, never heard that before. It's an old term school, dude. Old school term, dude. I'm old. Good chat. Later. Robert, thanks for coming in and hanging out, brother. Write or call your representatives telling your opinions on gun-free zones. Yep. Is that a silencer or a suppressor? Technically, both are correct. Unlike clip or magazine, those terms are not interchangeable, but if you look at the original patent for a suppressor, it's actually called a silencer. High quality. What would you consider high quality, my friend? I've got $5,000 handguns, and I've got $1,000 handguns that I consider high quality. Give me some examples of what you mean by high quality. Know the history. Yes, sir. Thoughts on the American Tactical Imports Alpha Max 5.56? The low cost caught my eye, but kind of makes me not want to buy it, though, too. If it's a metal body, then you're going to be fine. If it's the Alpha Max, I believe is aluminum, right? If it was a plastic body like the Omnis, fuck no. How'd you gain so much history? Vigorous learning via finding as many sources as I can. So it's what I recommend to people. I tell people all the time, don't just take this dumbass's opinion. My dumbass opinion should count only a little bit. You should get as many sources as you can so that you have a complete picture. Taking one person's version of knowledge and just accepting it is how you get really, really, really in trouble with your knowledge base. That's how socialism works. That's how North Korea works. No, the Omni Max is the plastic one. I think the Alpha Max is pretty good. Pegboard setup is pretty fly. I did that as a whim, Atlanta, Georgia. I was just sitting with a bunch of pegboard. I'm like, fuck this. I called Hold Up, but since I'm not a 1 million+ subscriber channel, he's like, I've got enough influencers, so fuck that. I was just asking if I can get industry pricing. He thought I wanted him to give me it for free, so anyway. I don't want to, I'm tired of being angry with companies. But anyways, we didn't come to an agreement, and I'm not going to give him my money when I don't want to give him all my money. So I painted the pegboards black. Like Glock fanboys. Yep. Any 1911. Look at the wall. Thinking of gold plating any of your guns? Kind of like an investment? No. Gold plating, number one, is extremely difficult. A lot of gold guns that you see are actually titanium nitrided. They're not actually gold plated. And it would be extremely expensive for no real gain. Everyone says that. Not from Atlanta, just my initials. Well, it's how I know you now, brother. I carry a Glock most days, old habits, and there's nothing wrong with it. I tell people that all the time. If you want reliability via mediocrity, get a Glock. How I pronounce the F in fuck no when I'm open carrying in the cops. Fuck you. Well, your response when somebody asks you for your ID when you're open carrying is, can you please show me the report for the articulable suspicion that allows you to ask me for my identification, sir? And then when you're being escorted off of property, what's the red handle under the shadow? Number one, not a shadow, just looks like it. It's just an SPO1, but the one with the red handle is actually the Fusion Firearms XF Pro, sorry. Gold and silver inscribed is level 4 quality. Okay, so you're just making up shit. Got it. What duty size striker fire polymer hand pew would you recommend excluding Glock? CZP-10C. Canic Meta LS. That Sig 365 Fuse. Walther PDP Compact. Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact. No, that is a personal thing, Nunya. I had a grand thumb at 6 thanks to Grandpa. I remember Grandpa saying it'll toughen you up in life if you smash it and cut it. Grandpa made a stop due to callus, though, so I slammed a nail. Damn. Why do you always drink Gatorade? Try something else, too. This is not actually Gatorade. This is actually a sugar-free drink in a Gatorade bottle. However, my doctor told me to drink Gatorade because it replenishes electrolytes because I eat like a trash panda. If you ever want to impress or excite, carry a Desert Eagle or a scrawl-engraved revolver. I used to have a Desert Eagle, a polished nickel, and it didn't get me any girls because you chase them down the road and they run away going, ah! Roberto, $5 donation. Thank you, dude. Are all those guns props and shoot a bang flag when fired? That would be hilarious, but no, they are real firearms, sir. If you go to my channel, click on my actual name, and look at the videos, you will see videos on 99% of the guns on that wall. Can't beat a 1022. Try out the Franklin Armory binary. Had to get a polymer trigger group to make it work because I have a 70s model. Franklin Armory is fun in a 1022, and it makes more sense in a 1022 because, god damn it is way cheaper to fire 22. Bang, hey-yo! You gotta have one do that. Thomas said hi. Hello. If you're joining this conversation, double tap the screen. Hey guys, if you're in here, like I said, I don't beg for money. When people donate, fucking awesome. You're king, Roberto. Thank you. But all I ask for from people is if you don't mind hitting the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. I do shorts that are kind of funny. I do long forms that are informative, and then I do live streams where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. So it would definitely help the channel grow, and I'd appreciate it. Cody, the 1-year-old, took my phone. Well, if you would kick them, hit the like button, y'all. So close to 100, and I work too much to make a trip to Alexandria. Lol. Have you fooled around with Tanfolio pistols? Yes, I have. That's a Tanfolio. The red-handled one right there is a Tanfolio Witness with the Mossad slide. I have several Tanfolios. You should start a house tour for $20 for 30 minutes. Show all your guns and all. No, I'm not that kind of guy, man. Even Stonehaven has not seen all my guns, and he buys half of the guns that I sell. Is anything on the wall binary? Not tonight. Not tonight. I may wind up putting a binary trigger in the 1022 when I put it in the Heat Seeker chassis. Thinking about buying a Ruger PC Charger. Any thoughts on it? Great little gun, actually. They're fun. They shoot well. Thinking about the 22 or the 9? I have one Tanfolio in 25. Have you hidden any guns by any chance? Any secret weapons? I have misplaced guns by forgetting who has them. Does that count? So I forgot one of my buddies had the Tanfolio recently. I was like, hey, he's like, are you at your shop? I'm like, yeah. He's like, cool, I'm going to bring your Tanfolio by. I'm like, what Tanfolio? That's true about Stone buying your guns. Sometimes you get them back. One. I've successfully retrieved one firearm from Stonehaven. And I'm trying to figure out what I can give him so he won't take my Match X. I already have a Glock 19. What all PCCs take Glock mags? You can put a Glock mag in the CMMG Banshee. Virtually every AR9 made now has a variant that takes Glock mags. The AK9 from Palmetto State Armory takes Glock mags. My wife is the one that highly encouraged me to get my Desert Eagle back when I got it a few years ago. She said she liked the way it looks next to my bulge. Dude, did you come into my store with your wife and buy an entire case of ammo with that Desert Eagle? I don't like Glocks, however I own two. I have one unfired State Conservative, and the other gets carried almost every day. There's nothing wrong with that. I have 7. I don't use any of them. Honest friends, 100%. Yeah. I've had a thing for old school Smith & Wesson autoloaders ever since my ex-girlfriend's mom, 6906, beautiful pistols. So I sold a friend of mine my 5906. He traded it into a pawn shop, and I'm thinking about getting it back because I did the high polish job on the sides. I might get that one back. Chase her down and get it back. No, kick her. Dude, we got 91 likes. I can't even see them because I haven't refreshed my feed. You can like hide some of your guns by digging it up in your backyard. It would be fun. Think of any person. No, I'm not burying guns in the backyard, brother. Hey, Rocky, come here. Come here, buddy. Rocky. Come here, dude. Yeah, we're closing in on 10 o'clock, so we're probably ending anyways. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, pal. Come here. Come here, dude. He's giving me side eye. He's like, you woke me up for this shit? So this is my dog. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Come here, buddy. You're not in trouble, dude. So this is Rocky. He's my boy. Oh, look at how tired he looks. He's been sleeping this entire life. But yeah, I wanted to just come on and do a short live tonight because I'm the right foot. I am the right stump of the free world. But yes. But yeah, good boy. Come here, good boy. Yeah, he is so tired. Anyways, I'll do a walkthrough on the wall before we end. I love you guys. I'll start doing longer live streams after the funeral. So please just bear with me. But yeah. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good weekend. Thank you, James. Good night, everyone. Past my bedtime. You too, Joe. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Sup, peeps? Just sharp my hit the like. Kids are sick, and I'm trying to be next. Nice. I like the Match X, but maybe a Kuna. Done. I will get you a Kuna. Good night, buddy. You too, guys. So, thank you, guys. So, anyways, Benelli M2. It's bone stock right now, but when I'm done with it, it's going to be fucking amazing. So, come back for that. Drive safe. Thank you. I will. Thank you, Buckshot. I appreciate that one. Good night, Cherokee. It's morning here, though. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm going to hit the X button because my live just fucking lagged. All right.